All right, we got another question from Henry177155. It says, will you get a car for driving in Taiwan? Some of the other foreign players drive in Taiwan. That will be easier convenience to explore Taiwan and easy to commute. As of right now, I don't have a plan to get a license here and drive. The team provides transportation for us, so but we'll see. That might be something, if it's of interest and we feel like we need it. I might do that. I know when I was in Korea, I had a license there and I drove back and forth to the field. We had to get ourselves to the field. So yeah, not something I'm looking at right now, but maybe in the future we'll see. All right, next we've got here0731 on Instagram. If you're not a baseball player, what do you want to do? Here, that is a great question. It's something I'm glad I don't have to answer yet, because it's something I've put a lot of thought into. When my career is over, what am I going to do with my life? It's changed over the years. I know I went to university for accounting. I finished 2 years of that before I started playing baseball, or started professional baseball. But looking back now, I don't think accounting is what I want to do. I love it as an idea. I don't love it as a job. There's a lot of things that interest me, but as far as a career, I have yet to pin that down what I'd want to do. I like to work with my hands. I like to be outside, so maybe something in the trades or along that line. A huge hobby of mine is woodworking. Whether that could turn into a career or not, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's something, like I said, I'm glad I haven't had to make that choice yet. I'm loving playing baseball right now, and I'm going to play as long as I can. Hopefully that's a lot more years. But yeah, I think a lot of players struggle with that question, and I think everybody's glad they don't have to make that decision quite yet. So good question. I don't have a solid answer for you, but yeah, we'll see. I think you had another question here. You have been to many countries. What do you feel on each culture? Obviously another great question. I have been to a lot of countries. I've been, when I was in high school with Team Canada, we went to Italy, Germany. That was my first time going to Korea, was with Team Canada. I've been to Dominican Republic, obviously United States, Canada, Korea again, now Taiwan. So the thing I really enjoy about every country is there's very unique cultures, there's very unique things about each culture, and learning those things is kind of neat. Obviously it would be a lot to go into each one right now for you, but the Taiwanese and the Korean cultures, one of the biggest things for me is the food. It's unlike any food experience I've ever had in my life. It's so fresh, it's so natural. It's truly incredible how good the food is, which is obviously great for us athletes. We eat a lot, and it's important for our job. So to have good quality food and the freshness of it is what really stands out to me, both in Korea and in Taiwan. And your final question, what is your motto and why this motto? I don't know if I have a motto per se, but something I've always prided myself on was just work ethic. It's something that I think is basically mandatory if you want to have success in baseball and in pro sports. I always try to be on time, working hard. Obviously baseball, it's kind of short spurts of working hard. You have your times where you really got to work, and then there's times where you can kind of lay back and watch a little bit, obviously, especially as a pitcher. But I think to have that focus during those times where you have to focus is important. So whether that's during practice every day, we have 10 minutes to play catch, 15 minutes, really focus on those 15 minutes, and then you get some time off, watch some batting practice. You don't really have to be too focused. Then you get in the weight room, let's focus again for half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour, whatever it is. So I think just that work ethic and that focus is something that I really think is important. Again, I don't know if that's a motto, but something I definitely strive towards. All right, next question from Instagram, HengReiChu_TT. What are the things that you like playing in the Uni Lions? Who are your favorite teammates or other CPBL players to watch play? Of course, my favorite thing about the Uni Lions is my teammates and the fans. It's again, even though I don't speak the language in the locker room, the amount of fun we have, the amount of laughs that we have is great. It's a very light atmosphere. I think that starts with our manager. He kind of lets us do our thing and have some fun with the game and really enjoy ourselves. As far as favorite players to watch, that's a good one. I think on our team, Shea Shen, number 24, obviously electric at the plate with his ability to just put the ball in play, get hits. Every time he comes up to the plate, I feel like he's going to get a hit. And it's nice when there's runners on base when he does that, drive in some runs. But he's exciting to watch. Yeah, I think on another team, that's a good question. The center fielder from Rakuten, is he number 0 maybe? From the Monkeys. The speed that guy has is incredible to watch. That's probably the fastest guy that I've ever seen in my life play baseball. He makes some outstanding plays in center field, and when he gets a hit and he starts to round first, it's like you feel like there's no stopping him. You feel like he's going to go home, like inside the park homer every time. He is so fast and electric, and obviously I don't like seeing him get hits and seeing him run, but when he does run, it's special to watch. So he's definitely a guy that has some skill and can really wow you with his speed on the baseball field. All right, the next question's a good one. It's from Shoot8066 on Instagram. Did you think of leaving Taiwan after last season? And you know, that's a great question. It's something that the foreign players every year deal with, whether to come back to Taiwan or go to another foreign league or back to the States. I think this year was a pretty easy decision for most guys because of what Major League Baseball is going through in the States right now. And last year there wasn't a minor league season. This year, not sure if there's going to be a minor league season. I think it makes the decision for foreign players a lot easier. Obviously, unless you can get a major league deal back in the States, but those are hard to come by too. So it's if you're kind of on that minor league, major league fringe, probably going to be a minor league guy. I think it's a no-brainer if you have a chance to play overseas right now to do that. And so obviously going home last year, you take into account all possibilities and see what comes, but it ended up being a pretty easy decision for me to return to Taiwan. Had a great season last year, had a lot of fun, and looking forward to it again this year. All right, Edison Chen 02 has an interesting question. Says, what is your favorite part of quarantine life? Which it's interesting because I don't think there are many positives. It's just pretty boring. It's a long 2 weeks has never probably gone slower in my life, but it's interesting because I think I do have an answer to that, and it's time, right? As boring as it is and as monotonous as the 2 weeks is, you have 2 weeks of time to learn something, to get better at something, to keep yourself busy. So I love to learn. I love learning new things, whether it's something I've already kind of do in my life and I want to get better, or something completely new. So I'm trying to take that time and learn some new stuff, which I kind of covered a little bit in my last video, A Day in the Life of Quarantine. So if you are interested in what those things are, go check out that video. But yeah, I think it just provides you with 2 weeks of really uninterrupted time. You have literally nothing to do. So to use that time to get better at something or to learn, or you can really dedicate it to what you want to do rather than having stuff kind of pulling you away and you have to do this for a couple hours, you have to do that. You really have 2 weeks to do whatever you want. So not a lot of positives in quarantine, but I think that's something you can take out of it. All right, next question is from notreally.yyy. How did you feel when you first time hearing Asian fan chants? Great question, because that is probably, for me, the biggest adjustment. Obviously there's some cultural and off the field adjustments to make when you come over to Asia, but as far as in-game adjustments, I think that trumps all. The volume and just the continuousness of the chants it is awesome. As a fan, the days I don't pitch and I'm watching a game, it is incredible because it keeps you in every game. It makes every game exciting, whether it's a Tuesday afternoon or a Sunday evening, a Saturday evening. Every game feels exciting. Every game, the fans are into it, and that keeps us into it and really pumped up. So the volume of them and the coordination of it is incredible. All the dances and every player's got a chant. Like it's really neat, really special, something that I really enjoy. But yeah, it does take some getting used to. I always say, obviously Korea was my first Asian baseball experience, and I was kind of happy I was the third starter because it gave me the first 2 games to really watch and kind of get used to that experience. I think if I would have been the opening night starter and gone out there that first year, I wouldn't have known really what was going on. I think it would have really overwhelmed me. But to have those 2 games to kind of sit and watch and experience that before I had to be on the mound was really good for me. And now that I've been in it, I really can't imagine playing baseball without it. I think back sometimes, like if I were to go back to the States and play in the States, like, man, I think I'd get bored of that game. Like especially the games you don't pitch, it's pretty quiet. It's not quiet, but compared to here, it's pretty quiet, and it's just completely different. So it's something I've gotten used to. It's something I love, but definitely takes some adjustment. Your next question is, what's the differences between Korean style and Taiwan style? I think there's a lot of similarities. I don't think there's a whole lot of difference. The game's kind of played the same way. Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of difference. The biggest difference for me, again, is the CPBL having 4 teams this year, 5 teams, compared to Korea has 10 teams. That's a huge difference. With 10 teams, you see each other a few times every year, but not a ton, so you're kind of facing different teams. You don't face the same team very often. So whereas Taiwan, yeah, you're facing 3 other teams. This year will be 4 other teams pretty regularly. So it's a lot of adjusting, a lot of trying to find new ways around lineups. So I think that would be the biggest difference between Korean and Taiwan baseball. The last question you have here is, do you think this Asian cheering style is having stronger tie-up with players and fans? I think if I understand your question right here, I think absolutely. Again, I can't imagine what the United States would be like if they did that. It provides such a cool atmosphere, such a fun atmosphere. I think just for the fans, even like the kids are up there doing it. It amazes me. There'll be 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old kids doing all the chants. They know like the dances and everything, which is incredible. And I think the United States could really benefit from that, making it a family game, a family experience when you come to the game, and an exciting experience. Put the drinks down and really have some fun and dance and cheer. Do I see it ever happening in the States? No, I don't. I think that's kind of a cultural thing that won't change. But I think it could be a huge benefit to American baseball. Next question comes from Huangxian7269. Most powerful teammate during your career? I'll give you 2 answers, 1 pitcher and 1 hitter. 1 pitcher would be Josh James. Pretty cool. We were drafted the same year. We came up through the minor leagues together. When we started professional baseball, he was kind of a high 80s, low 90s pitcher. We were always catch partners. We would play catch every day. And then as we got higher in the minor leagues, AA, AAA, and obviously now he's in the big leagues, he now throws 100, 101, 98, 99. When we got to AA and he started throwing harder, I don't know exactly what it was that helped him, but I mean, playing catch with him, it was a noticeable jump. And then getting up obviously into AAA in the big leagues, the velocity that he throws at, and just like you said, the power that he has is incredible. For hitters, it would probably be AJ Reed. I'm kind of thinking back to players I've played with. A notable man would be Jamie Romack in Korea. Obviously, he's had a long career there and hit a lot of homers there, so you could choose him as well. But AJ Reed in AAA in Fresno was special to watch. The amount of home runs that he could hit. Obviously, he's retired now. His career didn't last very long, but if you're just going off of raw power, he probably hit some of the longest home runs I've ever seen, and did it fairly regularly. So that would probably be my choice as a hitter for most power. All right, and last Instagram question is from Tex Kai. It says, why do you choose playing baseball? That's a good question. I grew up playing hockey. I always had dreams of playing in the NHL. I think every Canadian kid does. Then when I was cut in my sophomore year of high school, grade 10, I'd always played baseball in the summer, but kind of just recreationally for fun. Not many Canadians grow up like dreaming to play baseball. So, but once I was done playing hockey, I really went full-fledged into baseball, and kind of credit my parents and a few of my friends for getting me into that, and really taking that seriously. So, and then it kind of just blossomed from there. I didn't know what to expect with my career. Wanted to get a scholarship in the States and have school paid for. That was kind of my goal. And then once that happened, professional baseball was kind of a layer that I never really expected nor was shooting for. But once I got into college, then it really became a goal to play professionally. And then once I got into professional baseball, you're trying to play for as long as you can. So yeah, my whole career is kind of just unfolded in front of me, and it's not something I've dreamed about since I was a 4-year-old kid, to play professional baseball. But I've loved every minute of it, and I'm grateful for the places I've got to play and the career that I've had been able to have. So yeah, good question. Again, it's not something I dreamed of as a kid, but I'm really happy to be where I'm at. All right, next question. One of my buddies from back home, Baseball Canada is a small group, and I think the Taiwanese fans here know him and remember him. Scott Richmond played for the EDA Rhinos here and the Fubon Guardians. So for you Taiwanese fans watching, this is coming from Scott Richmond. Scott says, what's your least favorite street food in Taiwan? I've got a bit of a biased answer because I can honestly tell you I have not eaten this food, but it would be stinky tofu. I cannot get myself the smell of stinky tofu. I don't know how people can possibly smell that and still eat it. So it's kind of a lame answer because I have not actually tried stinky tofu. So I don't know, maybe I can't knock it till I try it, but the smell of it, I just cannot get over it, and I'm not willing to try it. So I think that's got to be my answer for least favorite street food in Taiwan, even though I haven't tried it. All right, we've got one from a guy that's pretty special to me, Todd Krieger. Todd was very involved with the AAA team in Fresno, California that I played for, and I actually lived with Todd for a little bit while I was there. Todd says, did you enjoy your time in Fresno? I absolutely loved my time in Fresno. Obviously, my first time playing AAA baseball, that in itself was a huge moment for me and experience for me, and to have that experience in Fresno was great. The organization's awesome. The people, the front office really made it enjoyable to play there. The PCL was a great league. Obviously, things have shifted in the minor leagues going into this year, and it's affected Fresno a little bit. Luckily, they still have a team. They're still able to support players along their way because it's a great organization, and whatever team has their affiliates there is pretty lucky because it's a great place and great people there above and all. So it's yeah, I really enjoyed my time in Fresno, really enjoyed my time with Todd and everybody involved with the Grizzlies. So always appreciate my time there and thankful for the Grizzlies. All right, the last question is from a special somebody. It's from my wife, Carly. She says, how do you stay in touch with your wife and family while you're away? Obviously, she knows the answer to this question, but it's obviously, I mean, it's a challenge, but it's not at the same time. Technology is amazing these days, so to have texting and calling, Facebook Messenger, video call, stuff like that, just to stay in touch with people back home and be a part of their lives. And obviously got a couple nieces and nephews now, so I like to stay in touch with them and see them grow up. So yeah, it's not always easy being away from home, but technology definitely makes it easier to stay in touch with them. So try to do that as much as I can. And obviously with the time change, we're 13 hours ahead here, so when I wake up in the morning, they're going to bed. When I'm going to bed, they're waking up. But there's usually a few hours in the morning and at night that cross over that we can chat and kind of catch up on our days. So it's, yeah, technology makes it bearable and still being able to stay in touch with people. All right, that is all the questions that I received. There was a few repeats in there, so if I kind of answered one person's question that was also your question, didn't include it because obviously it's the same answer, but yeah, hopefully everybody kind of got the answers they were looking for, and hopefully it gave you some insight on yeah, kind of my thoughts on stuff, and again, both baseball and just life-wise. So yeah, thanks to everybody that gave me a question to answer and interacting with my last YouTube video and through my Instagram. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun doing this video and the last video as well in quarantine. It's keeping me busy, keeping me sane, and giving me something to do. So I enjoy it, and I hope the fans and friends and family like it as well. So until next time, feel free to like this video, comment down below if you have any other questions or maybe video ideas for the future. Yeah, looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say down there. And until next time, take care.